Roland Weeks, known in history as the first Baron Weeks, was born on the 13th of November 1890 in Durham. He was the grandson of Richard Weeks. Weeks was commissioned in the South Lancaster Regiment of the Territorial Army in 1913. He served in the Rifle Brigade during the First World War and then retired from military service in 1919. Weeks married Mrs. Haynes on the 21st of April 1922. Then they got divorced in 1930. On the 3rd of February 1931, he married Cynthia Mary Irvin. They had 2 daughters. Weeks' grandson is a Member of Parliament, Richard Drex. He was made a commander of the Order of the British Empire in 1939. He was re-employed during the Second World War, intended as a Chief of Staff for the Territorial Division, and then as the General Staff of Home Forces in 1941. He was appointed Director General of Army's Equipment. In 1942, he then became Deputy Chief Military of the Imperial General Staff. He was awarded a Knight Commander of the Order of the Bath in 1943. He then became Deputy Military Governor and Chief of Staff of the British Zone for the Allies Control Council in Germany, 1945. In that capacity, he was involved in negotiation to avoid the Berlin blockade, the first major international crisis of the Cold War. The Soviet Union blocked the Western Allies' railways, roads and canals access of the section of the Berlin under the Western control. He then retired from the army. After the war, he became the chairman of Vickers. In 1956, he was to rise to his peers as the Baron Weeks of Ryton in the county of Palestine of Durham. At the age of 69, Weeks died on the 19th of August 1960. In the absence of a male inheritance, the Baron become no more. Around 3 p.m. on the morning of Tuesday the 30th of May 1826, Stargate Pit suffered its greatest loss of life. 20 men, 18 boys, 2 as young as 10, were killed in an explosion known as the Stargate Pit disaster. 38 lives were lost, gone in a flash, leaving 19 widows and 62 children. All of the dead were buried at the Holy Cross Cemetery. 36 of them were in a mass grave. In 1803, producing coal right up till 1963. During its war years, the colliery employed as many as 773 men and boys. During its 160-year history, at least 70 lives were known to be lost and half of them in the Stargate pit disaster of 1826. Look up at the spiral of the Holy Cross Church. This is the only one of its type in the northeast of England. The church modernised in the 18th and 19th century, dating back as far as 1220. The first reference of this church in Ryton was in 1112. Reverend Blythehurst married Eugenia Hurst here at Holy Cross. They had several children together. Reverend Blythehurst, born on the 6th of July 1806, the son of Robert Hurst. He attended Winlayton School. At the age of 18, he began thinking about religion, joining the Winlayton Methodist Chapel and becoming a preacher. In 1854, he was appointed the Vicar of Collieries with an income of £300 per year. He died on the 24th of January 1882 at the age of 76, leaving the estate of £214. He was buried in the crematorium of St Paul's Church, Winlayton. Ernie Broadwick, MBE, was 75-year-old when he got an MBE for his charity work. He abseiled down the Tyne Bridge. Joseph Lamb of Axwell Park died in Scarborough. He lived at Ryton House. He had shares in Ryton coal mines. Thomas H. Bell, 15th of September 1886, 25th of May 1952. John C. Bell, son, Sergeant Pilot RAF, 15th of February 1911 until the 13th of March 1941. Matthew William Bell, son, Lieutenant RAF, 31st of May 1921 till the 27th of March 1943. Anne W. Bell, wife, 25th of August 1888 till the 20th of August 1967. Anne Joyce Richardson, daughter, the 1st of September till the 12th of December 1998. Joseph Greaves lived at Whitewell Terrace, Ryton. Died Friday the 27th of June 1919. Addison was married to Mary in 1817. Their son, Addison, the cousin of Lord Armstrong, owned the Cork Fire Brick and Clay Works in Wellington Quays. He pioneered a gas-making plant in 1848, which served the street lamps in Howden. Addison married Mary Robson in 1857. Addison was the first chairman in the local school board in Wellington Quays in 1863. By 1871, they moved back into their family home in Heaton Hall. At his colliery, brickworks, cementing works, and brewery firm, he employed nearly 1,000 people. Captain C.F.B. Simpson, serving with the light infantry, who died the 3rd of December 1917. News has received that Captain Frank Bell Simpson, Durham Light Infantry, eldest son of Lieutenant Colonel Frank Simpson and Mrs. Simpson of Bladen, died of wounds on December the 3rd. Deceased, who was a grandson of Dr. J. Bell Simpson, Bradley Hall, Wylam. He was 25-year-old, has been active serving since the outbreak of the war, being an officer in the Durham Light Infantry under his father. John George Weeks was born in Ryton on the 6th of August 1843. He was the son of Richard. He was educated at home and also at Newcastle Grammar School in Jesmond until he was the age of 12. After attending Rosald Boarding School in Lancaster, he left at the age of 16 in 1859. At the time, he was top of his class in maths. In 1860, Weeks began his apprenticeship as a miner engineer with the Stellar Coal Company under Robert and J.B. Simpson. In 1865, Weeks was made master singer at the Allison Pit. But also at the same year he left to marriage in South Wales. After a few years, in 1868, he managed a colliery near Barnsley. In 1872, he was appointed head viewer and agent to Bedlington Coal Company. In 1883, he was made minor advisor of the Earl Raisonworth. He was appointed the first representative of the Blythe Harbour Commission from 1879 until 1916. In 1894, Weeks was made Justice of the Peace. He married Frances Mary in 1881, daughter of Thomas Hunter, and together they had one son, Richard, and two daughters. Weeks died on the 8th of July 1916. After an illness of 3 months, he was buried here at Holy Cross.